I always wanted to be good at art. When I was in high school, I took 3 art classes back to back, despite not needing to take more than one. It wasn't because I was confident that things would go well or that I thought I was good at art, but I wanted to be. I wanted to be good at it. I wanted to be confident. But all I got was paralysis. I stared at a blank page for half the time I had for each project, completely frozen. I was always afraid that whatever I drew would always look awful, especially in comparison to the other 3 students that sat at my table. I was always told, just do it. Who cares what it looks like? I did. I cared. Maybe a little too much. But to start from nothing, it was too unnerving for someone who had no idea where the genius behind art came from. In a sense, I just didn't have any confidence in my abilities, and nothing in my environment inspired confidence. After I scraped out of Art 3 with an 83, I largely gave up on art. I'm not sure what possessed me, but I found myself in a creative writing class the semester after I took Art 3. It was pretty slow going. We started with an introductory piece so that we could introduce our histories to our teacher, and Mr. Cannon, my teacher at the time, seemed to really connect what I wrote in regards to my history as being an easy target for bullying. It was a little thing, but that connection helped me feel more comfortable and safe, which was something that I wasn't used to feeling. Eventually, we hit the first real creative work. I was incredibly nervous because I had more fears about coming up blank, but this time I wasn't creating something from nothing. No, this time it was different. It was a puzzle. He showed us a series of black and white images with a quote on them, and he tasked us with writing a story in which one of the scenes took place. I remember 2 of them in particular, though I regrettably don't remember the quotes on them. There was the one that the majority of the class took, which was one of the fireplace, the inspiration to so many cute romance stories in the class. But then there was the one that caught my eye. It was one of a bedroom, focusing on the bedroom window, open with 2 little lights like fairies floating in. I took interest in that particular image and wrote my story. Looking back, it was garbage and made very little sense, but it didn't matter. I had done it. When I received my paper back, I expected it to be covered in red marks, criticizing me for my lack of ability. But to my surprise, while there were marks correcting me here and there was one message that meant so much to me that I never received in any other class. You have a real knack for this. It seems so silly, but it meant so much to me. I felt much more motivated to write than I ever did making a drawing or a painting or whatever, and so I continued through the semester, doing my work like I would for any other class, except that I was legitimately excited to go to this class every day. Finally, I wrote my final piece. It was my longest one and came once again from another challenge he issued us. When it was over, Mr. Cannon came over and we had a conversation about my work, what got it rolling, and what I wanted to do from here. What he told me drastically changed the path my life took from there on. I don't know what you want to do with your life, but you need to write. Suddenly, I was a writer. No, I was always a writer. More so than that, I was an artist, albeit in my own way. What was more interesting than that, I had a newfound interest in drawing again. It was a little ridiculous considering all I tried before, but now that I found how much I loved story writing, I wanted to try sketching out my characters, monsters, and heroes for my fantasy and science fiction writing. It helped me to solidify my storytelling and bring my ideas to life. The quality still usually sucked, but that didn't matter. It was no longer my creative focus. I had a new talent to focus on and the confidence to see it through. It's sometimes silly to think about how much so few words meant to me, but it gave me the strength to leave my future in chemistry in the dust where it belonged, as I'd never really had much interest in the science despite my own test scores. With my family's blessing, I took on a future in the humanities and arts, and I can never say that I've ever looked back.